All right, strap in, everybody. Today we are going deep, deep, deep into the Kybalion.
Ooh, diving into the deep end, huh?
That's right, we're talking about ancient secrets of the universe, Hermetic philosophy, Hermes Trismegistus, the OG mystery man.
More mysterious than a whole season of Lost. But that's what we're here for, right? To unlock this wisdom, these 7 axioms from the Kybalion, make it practical, make it work for everyday life, like a user's manual for the cosmos.
Exactly. And if anyone out there has ever, wondered if their thoughts actually have power or maybe felt like there are these patterns in life, these echoes.
Echoes. I like that.
Yeah, well, this is the deep dive for you. Be prepared to have your mind bent a little.
A little mind yoga.
Huh, I like that. So where do we even begin with something as massive as the Kybalion?
Well, got to start with the foundation, right? The principle of mentalism. This is like Hermetic philosophy 101. The all is mind. The universe is mental.
Whoa, okay, already feeling a bit mind-bendy. You're saying the universe is like one giant thought?
Imagine a cosmic movie projector. Universal consciousness is the film, and the images it projects. That's the reality we're all experiencing.
Okay, so like the Matrix.
Yeah.
Where reality was just a computer simulation. My mind. It's blown.
Exactly. Mind blown. But that's the point. And here's the practical part. If everything's mental, then our thoughts.
Yeah.
They're not just these little fleeting things. They have power to actually shape our experience.
Whoa, so it's like having a remote control for reality.
Exactly. The Kybalion says we're not just watching the show, we're helping create it.
Okay, I am officially hooked.
Yeah.
What's next on this cosmic treasure hunt?
Principle of correspondence. This one's all about patterns. As above, so below, as below, so above. Meaning what happens on a tiny scale also happens on a massive scale, and vice versa.
Okay, I need a real-world example. Help me out here.
Let's say you're having trouble communicating with, I don't know, your partner, that pattern. It might be reflecting a bigger issue you have, like expressing your needs at work or with friends.
So like if I fix the communication in my relationship?
Boom. Smoother sailing in other areas of life, potentially. The Kybalion says these patterns are there for a reason. They're clues.
This is blowing my mind. I'm seeing connections everywhere now.
That's the magic of the Kybalion. It's about connections. And speaking of connections, everything is connected by vibration. Principle of vibration. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates.
Okay, yeah, I get that. Like, scientifically, atoms are always vibrating. But does that mean, like, my feelings are vibrating too? Do feelings have a frequency?
Absolutely. Think of your mental state like a radio dial. Tuned into fear and worry. Well, guess what? You're going to attract more of that, but you can change the station.
So if I'm feeling down, I can just tune into a happier channel. Like switching from, I don't know, doom scrolling to listening to some good music.
You got it. Changing your vibration can be that simple. Changing your focus, doing something you love, hanging out with positive people.
I feel like I'm getting some control back here. This is empowering stuff.
That's the Kybalion. It's about becoming a conscious creator. And speaking of creation, let's talk about the interplay of forces in the universe. The principle of polarity.
Ooh, sounds intense. Hit me with it.
Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Think of a magnet. It's got a positive and negative side, right? Light and dark, hot and cold, love and hate. These are all examples of polarity.
Okay, so opposites attract. I think I learned that in high school science class.
Sure. But here's the deeper level. The Kybalion says opposites aren't actually separate things. They're extremes on the same spectrum. Like a gradient. You've got pure white on one end, pure black on the other, and all those shades of gray in between.
Ah, I see. So like fear and courage. They aren't totally different things. They're just on opposite ends of like a confidence spectrum.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really powerful. The Kybalion says we can use our will to move along that spectrum. It's called mental transmutation, shifting from one mental state to another.
Wait, are you telling me we can like alchemy our way out of negative emotions?
Yeah.
Because sign me up. But seriously, how do we even do that?
No magic potions needed. But it does take practice. It's about recognizing that you have a choice in which pole to focus on. Instead of getting stuck in fear, consciously cultivate courage.
Okay, but that sounds easier said than done, When you're in the thick of it, those negative emotions can be overwhelming.
Oh, absolutely. It's not about pretending those negative feelings aren't there. It's about acknowledging them, then choosing to shift your focus, your energy, towards the positive pole.
So like focusing on the light instead of getting lost in the shadows.
Yeah.
I love that. It's so empowering.
Exactly. And the more you practice, the better you get at navigating the polarities of life.
Wow, my mind is officially buzzing. This is like next level stuff. Maybe we should do a quick recap before we keep going down this rabbit hole.
Sounds good. So we've covered the principle of mentalism, the idea that the universe is, at its core, mental. Then we explored the principle of correspondence, recognizing those patterns, those echoes that repeat on different levels of reality. And then there's the principle of vibration. Everything is energy, everything's in motion, even our thoughts and feelings. And finally, the principle of polarity. Those opposites are really just two sides of the same coin, and we can learn to move between them.
Phew, that was a lot. It's like we're uncovering this secret code of the universe.
That's the Kybalion, peeling back the layers of reality, and we've only just begun.
My brain needs a break, but I'm dying to know what else the Kybalion has in store for us.
Buckle up, because we've got 3 more principles to explore, each one giving us a new perspective on how to live a more conscious and intentional life.
Bring it on. I'm ready for more.
Wait, what?
Welcome back, deep divers. Ready for more Kybalion wisdom?
I'm ready to go deeper. What's next on our cosmic adventure?
Let's talk rhythm. The principle of rhythm. Everything flows out and in, everything has its tides, all things rise and fall, the pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack. But it sounds like it's all about, well, cycles. Everything goes in cycles.
You got it. The universe is in constant motion, and that motion is always cyclical. Think about the seasons, the tides, even the stock market. Up and down, up and down.
So like, what goes up must come down, right?
Exactly. And the Kybalion tells us that by understanding those natural rhythms, we can navigate life's ups and downs with a little more grace, a little more resilience.
Instead of like freaking out when things go wrong, I can just remember.
Yeah.
It's part of the cycle. Things will get better again.
Exactly. It's like knowing that winter will eventually give way to spring. And this principle applies to our inner world too. Our moods, our energy, our creativity, it all ebbs and flows.
Man, that makes so much sense. Some days I'm super productive, and other days I can barely get out of bed. I thought it was just me. But maybe it's this cosmic rhythm you're talking about.
It very well could be. And by recognizing those rhythms, we can work with them instead of against them. Save those high energy times for your most demanding tasks. And when the pendulum swings the other way, give yourself permission to rest, recharge.
It's like learning to dance with the cosmos, instead of stepping all over its toes. But mastering those rhythms, that sounds tough.
Well, that's where the next principle comes in. Cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law, not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law.
Ooh, now we're getting into karma territory. Explain it to me like I'm 5.
Okay, every action has a consequence, right? Sets off a chain of events, like that butterfly effect thing. A butterfly flaps its wings in Brazil, causes a tornado in Texas.
So are you saying every little decision I make, every thought I have, is like that butterfly flapping its wings?
You got it. And the Kybalion says we're not just passive observers in all this. We can be conscious participants in the game of cause and effect.
Okay, conscious participant. I like that.
Ah,
But how? How do I become a player instead of just getting tossed around by fate?
by understanding the law. By recognizing that our thoughts, our words, our actions, they all have consequences. It's about taking responsibility.
So I'm constantly planting seeds, some good, some not so good, and then later on, I reap what I've sown.
Powerful imagery. And the principle reminds us, we can always change what we plant. Plant new seeds, seeds that will grow into a better future.
Man, I'm feeling inspired to get out in the garden and maybe do some mental gardening too.
That's the spirit. All right, ready for the final principle on our Kybalion deep dive?
Hit me with it. What's number 7?
The principle of gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes.
Okay, this is the one that always throws people off. Are we talking about like traditional gender roles here?
Nope, not at all. The Kybalion is talking about energy. Masculine and feminine energies that exist in everything. They're the driving forces behind creation.
So not Mars versus Venus, more like yin and yang.
Exactly. Masculine energy. Think action, assertion, logic, outward focus. Feminine energy. Think receptivity, intuition, nurturing, inward focus.
So these two forces are always interacting, always creating balance. the cosmic dance.
Beautifully put. And the Kybalion says both are essential for creation, like two sides of a battery. You need both the positive and the negative to get that energy flowing.
So is this principle about finding balance between those masculine and feminine energies within ourselves?
You got it. We all have both, no matter our physical gender. And when we understand them, when we learn to balance them, we unlock our creative potential. We live more harmonious lives.
I'm seeing how this applies to so many things. Relationships, creativity, everything. It's about finding that sweet spot where those energies work together.
That's the key. The Kybalion is all about embracing the fullness of who we are, recognizing that both masculine and feminine are essential for growth, for creation, for fulfillment.
Wow, we've covered so much ground today. All 7 principles from the Kybalion: mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender. It's a lot to process.
You've done a fantastic job grasping these ideas. But remember, we've only just scratched the surface. The Kybalion is a lifelong study.
There's always more to learn. That's what makes it so exciting.
Exactly. The more we explore these teachings, the more we discover about ourselves and the universe we live in.
I think it's time to shift gears a little bit. We've got all this knowledge swirling around in our heads. Now what? How do we actually use it?
That's a great question. And that's exactly what we'll be exploring in the final part of our deep dive into the Kybalion. Stay tuned.
Wait, what?
Okay, I think my brain is finally caught up. All those principles, all that ancient wisdom, it's a lot to absorb.
It is a lot, but it's exciting, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like we've been given this amazing map of the universe, but we're still figuring out how to use the compass.
Great analogy. And just like learning to navigate with a compass, mastering these principles, it takes practice and guidance. The Kybalion gives us some tools to work with. Mental transmutation, for example.
Right. Turning those negative thoughts into positive ones. Alchemy for the mind. But honestly, it still feels a bit like, I don't know, positive thinking on steroids.
I like that. But it's deeper than just thinking happy thoughts. It's about understanding polarity, using your will to shift your vibration. Remember that fear and courage spectrum we talked about?
Yeah, the cosmic mood ring.
Exactly. Mental transmutation means choosing to focus on the courage side of the spectrum, dialing up the bravery, dialing down the fear.
Okay, but can you give me a real world example?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm still a bit lost on how to actually do this.
Sure. Imagine you've got this big presentation at work. You're nervous, right? Anxious. Instead of letting those feelings take over, try mental transmutation. First, acknowledge the fear. Then, consciously shift your focus. Think about confidence, about success.
So it's like mentally rehearsing a positive outcome, visualizing myself nailing the presentation.
You got it. You're essentially rewiring your brain, replacing that fear program with a courage program. And the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Okay, that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
But what about those times when the negative thoughts just won't quit? They're like those pesky weeds that keep coming back no matter how much you pull them.
Well, for that, we've got the art of attention, another Kybalion gem. It's about recognizing that what you focus on, you give power to.
So it's about being mindful of where I'm directing my energy, like choosing which plants to water in my mental garden.
Exactly. Keep watering those weeds of negative thoughts, and guess what? They're gonna grow. Focus on the flowers, the positive thoughts, and those will thrive.
Man, this applies to so much. Social media, the people I spend time with. It's all about being conscious of where my energy's going.
Right. And remember the law of use. Knowledge is only powerful if we use it. The more you practice these techniques, the better you'll get at shaping your reality.
So it's like mental strength training, building those muscles so I can handle whatever life throws at me.
You got it. And the Kybalion is full of training exercises. It's a lifetime's worth of practice.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this incredible journey into the Kybalion. We've uncovered its secrets, explored its depths, and even learned some practical techniques for using its wisdom in our everyday lives.
We've only just begun to scratch the surface, but it's a good start, right?
Definitely. And to everyone listening out there, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. I hope you found it as mind-blowing and inspiring as I have.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those vibes high.
Until next time.
Wait, what? Wait, what?